Hey there YouTube, California Prepper. This is going to be a video entry in a CrazedBlades46's contest. He's asked us to do something pretty cool. He's asked us to show our collection, but to do it by brand, sort of whatever you collect the most. If you have more Spydercos, you have more Benchmates, you have more Bokers, whatever the case may be. Now, in my case, I am a Kershaw fanboy. I'm a Kershaw guru. I love Kershaw. I love Kai knives. So I kind of put my ZTs up here as well. As you guys know, Kai, the makers of Kershaw, make ZT as well. So those are on the table. With that being said, let me lead you through my Kershaw collection, shall we? I had no idea I had so many until I put them all on this table, and they barely fit. So we'll start off on the left side of the screen, shall we? Up here at the very top, we have a Selectfire. My wife and I both have one of these, so there are two. Here is the three different Kershaw Cryos they have out right now. The twos haven't dropped yet, so as soon as those drop, I'll have all three finishes of those as well, hopefully. Here is the knife that started my whole Kershaw addiction. It actually got me into higher quality knives. It is the Kershaw Needs Work. Still love this knife. I was actually carrying it earlier when I was making my sheaths for my homemade chopper. So love that knife. Great knife. Next up is the ZT-0200. If I was going into battle, this is what I would take. This is one beast of a knife. Just feels like it can take a beating, and it is plenty sharp enough to put a hurting on someone. That recurve blade is savage. Dual thumb studs. That was horrible. Dual thumb studs and a flipper, so that's pretty cool. Next is my baby, as you see on the California Prepper sign. This is my 0560. Love this bad boy. Doesn't see too much pocket time because it is my baby, but I do like to carry it every now and again. Next up is probably one of my most carried knives on the table, the Kershaw Knockout. A little grease up there. This heat really makes these knives leak. That didn't sound very good, but I'm serious. The grease in them just doesn't do so hot in the weather up here in Northern California. This is the Knockout aluminum scales. Love this knife. Absolutely love this knife. Barely feel it there in your pocket. Next up over here at the very top right hand corner, this is actually one of my first Kershaws I ever bought myself. I bought myself the 3/4 ton and the 1 ton shortly after getting the Needs Work, and they are still one of my favorite knives. When I go to work, this is usually, or let me rephrase that, when I go to work out and I'm doing something dirty and I don't want to mess up my nice knives, I usually go for the 3/4 ton and my HK Pikachu. Those are usually my work knives. Great knives though. Really do love the 1 ton as well. Got the frame lock for 20 bucks. This is an awesome knife. Love the belly on that. Next up is my wife's little Kershaw Rainbow Leak. This was a gift from my younger brother, or we sort of traded it. Gave him $5 and another pocket knife, and he gave this to my old lady. She fell in love with it. Had no idea it was a Kershaw until I got into knives, and I looked at it and I was like, dang, you've been carrying a better knife than me all these, all this time. Great little knife. Got the chromed out pocket clip from Kershaw. Next up is another knife that was high on my wish list for a long time. This is the Kershaw Blur. Just look at how that thing rockets out of there. I do like the S30V models, but this, when I fell in love with this, I fell in love with the black on black. Just love it. Looks tactical, shoots out. I mean, this thing is razor sharp. Love this knife. Love the what is it, angled thumb studs on it. Really comfortable. Great knife. Next up is another pair. These are the Skylines, my wife's, that she took over from me, and this is one that I won in a contest here on YouTube. Love the DLC coating. Sweet little knife. Kershaw Skyline is a great little knife. This knife actually reminds me a lot of the Skyline, just a little smaller. This is the Kershaw Ace. It's a discontinued model. I got this for $8 on eBay. I was bidding for it, and I won, and I was so stoked. Just reminds me of a little smaller version. This is what I keep on my key ring. And it's just a great little knife. Razor sharp. You have a lockback. Unfortunately, it is pin construction, but that's what you get with these cheaper, smaller knives, especially the older ones. Back in the day, I mean, hey, actually, it's not pinned. Check that out. I never noticed that. It is adjustable. That is cooler than hell. I had never noticed that the pivot is adjustable. That's awesome. Alright, what else do we have on the table we haven't talked about? The tension. I have a couple of these as well. Got these from a fellow YouTuber. These were a Cabela's special. Great knife. Sort of reminds me of more of a middle ground between the 3/4 ton and the 1 ton. Just sort of a middle ground to me, I think. Really reminds me of those knives. Liner lock. It's not a frame lock, but it is a beefy knife, especially for the price point. Great knife for the price point. And last, but definitely not least, we have another one of the wife's knives. This is the Kershaw Brawler. I got one of those tack packs, and I pulled this out, and boy am I happy that I did not buy this knife by itself. This is probably the only Kershaw that I'm not too fond of. It's just real small in the hand. Don't really care for this knife too much. Fits the wife hands a little bit better. I like having something. She usually carries her Spyderco Native or the Skyline, but sometimes I like having something that's a little quicker to get out for her, you know, so she doesn't have to fumble with anything. It's just flick and go. Oh, looking over the table, I spotted one more I haven't talked about. This is this is the third Kershaw that I had ever bought, and this is still one of my close favorites. This is the Clash. Love this knife. To me, this is a bargain model of the Blur. A little bit smaller. You can get the black on black if you'd like. I, for some reason, just like the stainless on black. I'm a big plain guy, plain Jane, I guess. My wife gives me crap all the time because I like plain stuff. But just reminds me of a value version of this. You can get this for about $24, and this is more 60 to 70. Both great knives, but the Clash is just a great buy for what, like $24, I think. This thing is awesome. So that's it. This is my collection of Kershaws. So thanks, brother, for doing this contest. It's really cool. Gave me a reason to bust out all my Kershaws and go back and take a trip down memory lane. So that's gonna do it. California Prepper, I'm out of here.